subscribe, love, like. We're sponsored by the Spunk Lube and rebroadcast by the Demon Seed Radio Network. We could not do any of this without you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Please give us that bump. Porn Stars and People Podcast. I'm here with Gingerbanks.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this. I think I met you in this spot 2 years ago.
You did. Indeed.
All right.
We're back.
You're just going to confirm everything. Yep. Yes. Yes. Just all yes answers. Yes. So you just told me, I didn't realize that you lived elsewhere. Is that an on the table discussion or off the table discussion?
Oh yeah, we can talk about anything.
So you live in Arizona?
Yeah, I live in Phoenix, Arizona.
How is that?
I like it.
No, I've
Yeah.
been half a time. I went and I don't think I got what I was supposed to get out of the town. I played a show in Mesa. It's a little weird. I did that one hike that everybody does.
Camelback?
Yeah.
That's a pretty hard hike.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not avid as much anymore, but there's harder things that have happened. It's because everybody's doing it. It's like I get the people that live in the town where the hike is, and they go, I don't really want to do the hike. But then the people that do the hike, like me, I hiked some shit here. That's like a very mid-level hike.
Yeah.
It's a little hard. It's a little fun, but there's too many people.
There's a lot of people around. It's like a tourist hike.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's how you know that's how I know it's bad.
That's why I picked that mountain.
Yeah.
I hike other mountains.
I go, that's not the one.
No, it's great. It's blown up right now, to be honest. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's growing a lot. I think solar has a lot to do with that. It's really big out there. I mean,
yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah. It seems
desert.
like a no-brainer. A lot of wind shit there too. Maybe not in Phoenix, but on the way to and fro.
Yeah, definitely between Arizona and California, there's a fuck ton of that shit.
So then, what is the main? If I went to Phoenix, what am I supposed to do with myself? Hike Camelback, obviously.
There's a really cool new rooftop hotel thing that just opened.
So you're there
across the street from my place.
So that's
so I
where
go there. No, I smoke a lot of weed.
Sure.
That's honestly
What's the Arizona law?
I have my medical marijuana card.
Okay, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know the Arizona. So they're medical.
Yeah, it's really expensive right now. It's $300 almost to get your medical card. So there's a lot of dispensaries, and not that many people have their cards. So weed's pretty cheap. It's $99 for an ounce.
Okay, I don't know. I don't have a reference point on that.
It's usually $300 sometimes.
Really? So because the card costs so much and nobody's getting it, and the demand's not way up, they're trying to make it so that people actually buy the shit.
Yeah. So there's a ton of fucking weed out there, which is good.
That's cool. Yeah. What's your go-to way to get it in your body?
A bong.
Okay. I bonged literally once. Every one of my weed stories ends with, and then I was too high, and then I didn't do that way again. So I bonged once, and I was under massive peer pressure from a lady who was like, when you're trying to hook up with somebody, and then they're trying it's. I think it probably works a lot but not in my life, but it probably works this way for women as well, where dudes are trying to get you drunk and high and all these things, and this happens for people because I'm very sober. People are trying to do those things to me, and so sometimes risk reward. I try, but I was so high that I had no abilities.
Well,
anymore.
That's fucked up. If you're any sort of educated stoner, you would know never ever to give someone who doesn't smoke weed a bong.
Yeah, I think
you shotgun the weed in their mouth or something.
Yeah. Well, so I took one hit and I felt good. And then it was you're taking more. And then she was mad when I couldn't perform because I had no
peer pressure,
faculties.
Peer pressure, drug use, or alcohol use makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Even last night at the expo or yesterday at the expo, this guy asked me if he could massage my feet, and I said no, and he asked twice, and I was you never fucking ask twice.
No is no, yeah.
Literally,
but
just for anything.
But we really are in this culture of
consent.
We're in the culture of consent, but then but the older rules still apply, and people are still living. I think we talked about this last time. People are still living in this world where, you're just as a dude, kind of. Sometimes you're just supposed to muscle it and see if it's really a no, which I've never been able to navigate.
Yeah.
I hear no, and I go cool, good night, no problem.
I think that's literally what you're supposed to do because it's not your responsibility to speak up or interpret someone else's lack of we really just need to teach people to speak up and be able to say yo, do you want to fuck? I want to fuck.
Right. Why can't we do that? Yeah.
That's what we need to do. And I think destigmatizing sex is something that's happening. I genuinely believe that. I think there's pushback no matter what. I think there's always going to be pushback, but I think generally the younger generations are just I have 6 butt plugs, and I'm
yeah.
what? You're 17. Like, my little sister, she's just, like, so much more open sexually than I ever could have been growing up.
Well, only because the information's out there. It's like, because what was the period of time where, like, being a kid and you're like, I don't know what to think.
Like, where did you learn about
Where
sex?
does it go? Fucking having, like, a Showtime subscription. Like, I never had a chat with any of my family. Never. And I was very early. Like, I was in the game pretty early. I was masturbating at a like, I think I was 9 or 10. I was masturbating far before there was any results. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nothing was coming up.
Nothing was happening. And so and I had a weird technique. Like, all of it was strange because nobody was like, I had no information.
Exactly. And I mean, I think it's more common than we talk about too. Like, I denied masturbating growing up so much, but I was doing it all the time. Yeah. But I would never have admitted that.
You're like, there's Holocaust deniers. You're a masturbation denier.
Straight up. Oh my God.
You're like Mel Brooks' father.
Never. I would never touch my own pussy.
That never happened. It's a myth.
Look at me now. Hey, look at me now. Hey.
So what was your opening method?
How did I first? I think I just like itched myself one time. I was watching a movie and I was like, "What happened?" And so I just literally just went straight upstairs and laid in bed and like started rubbing my pussy. Yep.
Yeah.
For like the whole summer. I was like, "This is my new hobby."
What was your technique on your like just like a turtle on his back?
Yeah, laying down underneath a blanket.
Yeah.
Just like no family.
In.
I'm just laying down in bed in the middle of the day for hours.
It's a much easier concealable thing for women.
I used to do it like when I went to college and I started smoking weed for the first time. My boyfriend and his friends would be playing Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64 in front of me, and I would just be laying on the bed behind them masturbating for like hours. And I know they had no idea because it's like, but if it was a guy, it would be like tent popping up every 5 seconds. I conducted
an entire interview of this podcast where somebody at the end, she was like, "Were you filming this?" I was like, "I set up 2 cameras," and she goes, "Oh, I was masturbating the whole time."
And you didn't even know?
I had no idea.
Did you go back and watch and realize it?
She was not focused at all times, and now I'm understanding why. I just thought it was part of her charm.
Where were her hands? Was she just squeezing her thighs together?
Yeah, I don't know. I think she was probably. We were on a bed, so I think she's probably just in there. It's not my business.
Didn't you go back and watch after to edit it?
No, I don't really edit these. Nothing. If you say something wrong, it's just
there's 2 cameras though.
It's gonna make it in.
I don't care.
I have 2 cameras, but I don't have time.
Legit, unless I like said my address on accident.
Yeah.
Or like,
has that happened?
I don't know how I could possibly.
Oh, I didn't mean to yell that out. My bad.
Like, how could you possibly do that? Right. And the apartment number and everything? No.
Right.
But
P.O. box, all of it.
I'm a fairly open book, I think.
Yeah.
As much as I can be.
My technique was not concealable as a child. I was humping my hands. Like, I was just humping my hands like think of like an inchworm, like going down like you know what I'm talking about? Like that's what it was.
Yeah.
And it was so prevalent that I was doing it just in the living room, like that like my mom came up with a word for it. She called it wrenching.
Oh my God.
I just remember being yelled at for wrenching often.
She couldn't even like.
So it's like, so then I look back at my life and I go, oh, of course my family wouldn't have been surprised when I said, I was like, hey, I'm probably going to start this podcast. We're going to be porn stars. There was not even like, and my family's not, we still don't really talk about sex. I talk about sex on stage as a comedian, but we don't talk about it openly. I think my father is kind of proud of me and thinks that I've like been with a lot of people, and I think he likes that because I think he thinks he would have wanted to do that in another life. So I think he has that estimation of me. I think my older sister, thinks I've had sex with every person on the planet, and I think she's resentful of that. But I remember I was like, because I'm so open, comedy wise, I was like, I'm gonna tell these folks. I told my grandfather, I told everybody, I was like, I think I'm gonna go to the porn convention and start this podcast. And they asked like a couple questions, and that was kind of the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, dude. We all came from a vagina. I've said that before. I said it again. Like, it's the one thing we all have in common. So it's so crazy, like, how we treat sex. Like, it's mind blowing. Like, every little kid I ever babysat would like hump pillows.
Sure.
Like, I'd be like, do that in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Just don't do that in the living room. Just do that by yourself.
My one cousin's child, she's starting to meander. And here's my cousin's response. He goes, "Quit rooting around down there," which is my favorite phrase. Quit rooting around down there.
We used to like catch my little sister doing it, and we would like threaten to tell our parents to get her to do stuff for us. We'd be like, if you don't go get me some fucking water right now or whatever, I'm gonna tell Dad that you hump pillows.
That you hump pillows.
Like fucking so fucked up.
Yeah.
But we knew it would like, we knew that it would piss him off and like get her in trouble.
Right.
So like, I mean,
why would it piss him off?
'Cause I don't know, man. Like that dude had some control problems.
Okay.
Psycho. Like they wanted us to be virgins until we were married. Like you can't.
So yeah, this is another level. So yeah, my thing was like my mom, like it was like companies coming over, stop wrenching in the living room. So that's what I mean. It's like they knew I was a pervert from like 8 years old. So it's like that's why they're not surprised. I've like gravitated towards talking about sex and porn. But yeah, no, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other vibe.
It's a vibe. No, I think a lot of people, like a lot of fathers, feel entitled to their daughters' bodies and to control what they do sexually. Like it's a very commonly accepted thing.
This is a thing I haven't been able to verbalize. This is why having a daughter and having a gay son is so like jarring to the male thing. Is like there's just something about somebody else fucking your kid that like doesn't feel good. Right? It's like it doesn't work the other way because it's like
they're doing the fucking.
Because you have a straight son, he's fucking.
I think it's because you're doing the fucking. It's like if you're doing the fucking,
then
like
it's
always.
Yeah.
It's like you're getting fucked.
Yeah.
Like the way it's like it's a degrading thing. Like it's always this like subtle terminology that we use constantly.
Yeah.
Like I catch myself doing it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it with everything. Like I still catch myself saying clean or dirty in regards to STD testing and like things like that, you know, like just subtle things that you don't realize how it has an impact on what you think about certain things. So, I mean, even like small dick jokes, like those are so ingrained in like society. Even if you're like I'm someone who tries to express to people all the time, like lesbians clearly have fun, so you can have no dick and you can be like the best lover anyone's ever experienced in their life. But at the same time, I catch myself the second someone does something mean to me, like a guy, I'm like, that's the first thing I go to insult.
Right, small dick
it's
syndrome.
The first thing in my head.
It's but also some of small dick syndrome is like it's a mental game. I had a buddy in college who probably was fine, but was convinced that he had a small dick, and I tried to explain to him. I was like, you thinking you have a small dick means you have a small dick. Because there's no dick size if you think that it's small that will make you feel good about it and to make you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And he like had to call me when I was in London. Because it was our junior year. He had to get a ruling on whether or not he lost his virginity because he couldn't stay hard. Like all these things. And it's like, dude, you're doing this shit to yourself.
Head, man.
So it wasn't until he took Cialis as a 20-year-old. Out of college, that he like finally took a hold of his like sexual independence and like felt like a love, like he could like be a lover.
In his head, he probably couldn't get hard.
He couldn't. He was the perfect boyfriend candidate.
Makes totally sense.
All these girls would be like go on, and he would hold it out. So it'd be like a month of dating before he got with somebody because he knew what was going to happen, and they would like be basically in love with him, and then he wouldn't be able to hook up. Or he would go soft, and then everybody gets uncomfortable.
And he would never explain why. So the girls would probably...
I didn't even know if he really understood why.
Yeah, like, dude, that's
and it's also like if you're like, well, I think I don't have a real dick, then like what's the best case scenario they could say to him is, no, you have a nice, and it's like, but is that really gonna do it?
Okay, no, it's not, because I offer dick ratings, okay?
Dick ratings?
Dick ratings, like as a porn star. I'll just tell you what I think about a dick. And I genuinely prefer penises to be 4 to 6 inches because that's the inside of my vagina. It's gonna hit the best part of my vagina.
Right.
They don't believe me. Like I'm like, no, you have a great dick. It's like gonna hit like it's a great size. Like like you could make a girl come but it's not a porn star dick.
Yeah, we've all seen the video of the arm dicks, and we know
they exist too. But I want to say they're not straight up not enjoyable. I don't give a fuck. Like it may be in my butt, but my vagina can only be so big.
Right.
Your butthole can stretch to a lot bigger.
This is the thing. I've said. I don't know if I've ever said this on stage or even, but it's like I would like to have, and I do have a dick that I can use most of all of it. I don't want to have a dick that I can't use. What is the virtue of that? Like you watch some of these videos and you're like, and it's like, and there's like 5 inches of waste.
You're like, you will literally destroy that woman's cervix if you try.
5 inches of waste. He's like bottoming out. It's like that's also like
you're
like
letting that dick go to waste.
Getting completely engulfed is the fucking game.
Yeah. You're never going to be able to rest your balls on an asshole.
You're not going to understand how incredible that is. Right. If your balls slap against everything, you're not going to understand how great that is.
No, like, and I even give dick ratings, and guys will come back like a week and a half later and be like, "Were you telling the truth?" Like, I genuinely don't. And I'm like,
because there is so much dick shame out there. Nobody's talking about, but nobody's talking about dick shame.
No, it is. And it happens all the time.
And then here's the problem. When guys talk about sex, we go, "Did you hit?" Yes. Done. There's no more questions. Go right back to, like, playing video games. Girls is like, well, what was it like? What did it look like? Well, how big are we talking? Like, all this stuff. Like, can I see it? Like, we don't do any of that. It's literally, did you hit? Yes. Pound, whatever your secret handshake is, back to whatever the fuck you're doing. That's it.
Girls go into detail. And no, porn dick has created an epidemic where people, like, men
a predicament.
There we go. Where, like, guys who have average size dicks that are perfectly good to, like, fuck genuinely think they have the smallest dick on the planet because they don't look like Mandingo.
Well, and then, but it's also, there's something in history where just white dudes are worried that bigger dicks are going to take over the world.
Oh, it's like a once you go black.
Yeah. Well, here's what I tweeted the other day. Literally, I tweeted that dudes with big dicks are more likely to go after their dreams, and I do believe this because of the stigma of small dicks.
Energy.
Because no, it's not big. It's because if you have a big dick, you go, I want to meet more people and give more people my dick. And if you have a small dick, you go, I don't want anybody to know. Right? So it's like, so there's that vibe. And then there's obviously there's the extremes of everything. Like who knows what Bezos packing? You know what I mean? Maybe he has to get $1 billion, billions and billions of dollars because of his lack of dick. But I do think, like, people that like might be, like, mediocre at something might get better so they can, like, share their dick with more people. Like, I got
spread the dick around.
It's like the scene in the Dirk Diggler movie. He's like, I got things. I have things you don't know about. I have special things about me. You don't see what I'm talking about?
Never seen that.
Oh, really? It's so good.
It's
so good. Boogie Nights. Check it out. He's the what was the real life guy's name?
John Travolta.
No. Well, it's Mark Wahlberg, but there was a real porn star.
Oh, I have no idea.
I think his name was John Adams. No, that's not right. That was a
founding father.
That
was the founding father. Number one.
So yeah.
That's so.
But
John Adams.
John Adams.
No, that's a porn name.
I
could get behind.
John Adams had a huge cock.
That's why he didn't have any slaves.
I bet. Yeah, Jefferson probably had a nice dick. Right?
Yeah, which one of the founding fathers had the best dick? I think it was Washington.
Probably Jefferson because
Washington was like 6'5".
Washington was not 6'5", was he?
Washington was a huge man.
What about Lincoln?
But he was a founding father. He's just a badass president.
Yeah, but I'm just going through the list. It was George Washington was 6'5".
He was. I have no idea.
There's no way that's true. He couldn't have been able to be on a horse.
Like in the 1700s, but he was a really big dude.
Yeah, 6'5". You can't get on a horse. We did the other day. We tried to figure out who, what monarch was fucking horses, and it was Catherine the Great. At least allegedly.
Mrs. Hands.
Because I blamed the entire royal family for it. Like, I was like, it was Queen Elizabeth. I was talking to Estella Bathory. Is that why
they kind of all look like horses? A little bit, slightly. It's just like Prince William.
Wow. So nose and dick shame. I see where you're at. I see where your head's at.
No,
we do need to talk about dick shame, though.
My one tweet that went viral is like a tweet of me dick shaming someone. Basically, I said, like, it's this picture
because they were being.
It was for an unsolicited dick pic. I was like, I'm gonna send this next time someone sends me an unsolicited dick pic, and it was just like this little conversation between this girl and this guy where he sends her a picture, and she's like, "Did you just send me a picture of a child's penis? I'm gonna report you to the FBI."
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then she pretends like she's gonna report him to the FBI. Yeah. But it's funny. But at the same time, when you break it down, you're basically just insulting the guy for having a small penis.
There's something wrong with dudes that we need to also solve, where we just think that, like, if the conversation's going south, we should just fire off our dick. It's like, that's the last ditch effort. We don't know what to do. We're about to lose it, so we go, you know what? Here's my dick. I don't know. We don't have any other information. We just go, here's my dick.
If it's impressive.
Yeah, but that's never going to turn the tide. That's never going to turn the tide.
I think that a lot of people, they put their self-worth into their penis size.
But also, a lot of women do it too, though. So
no,
like,
you're right.
If I meet a size queen, I'm sure I'm going to be fine. But if you're a size queen, I'm not interested anymore in talking to you because how is that at all to do with what's important?
Well, that's just like a guy being like, I would only be with someone who has huge tits.
Right.
I would, and
I
if
know
someone who
those
has
guys.
they exist.
I know those
so
guys.
a girl it's just being superficial. Like, okay, when in therapy, my therapist says like when you look for a partner, you make it like you're looking for a house. There's certain things that you have to have. Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna date someone who gets fucked up all the time. Like that's definitely a big no for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I will like those things. Like they have to have
what
these
is
qualities.
So wait, what is that in the house? What is that? That's a leaky basement? What is that?
It's like I want it to be this many square footage. I want it to be in this neighborhood. But like one of the things that's not in there is my partner's dick size or any physical like requirement. Like they have to be blonde or something like that. That's
but you have to have.
But at the same time, maybe it would be cool.
Lovemaking.
Exactly. That like sexual chemistry is probably one of the things that I have to have.
Yeah.
I want to like laugh and have fun with the person that I'm with. Like those things. Like those are a guarantee.
Yeah, it is interesting because
some things might be nice. Like it would be cool. Like
just like for you, there's some dicks that just feel better.
Yeah.
It's the same vibe. It's like, and it's not based on aesthetics in any way. There's just some people that you fuck and you're like.
I mean, chemistry is like chemistry.
There's number one, yeah, but also there's some like there's how do I say this? There's like some pussies that like just I'm bumping into things and I'm not sure why, and then there's some pussies where it's just like everything's just out of the way. And it's just, and I just get to, and
it's
I get
beautiful,
to use,
smooth hallway.
I get to use all of my dick. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about.
Someone smashed my coffee.
And where did you get yours?
The Cupcake Girls Suite, sponsored by Minivids.
Oh, look at you! Look at us getting our free coffee. I literally, I had a logo on it. Oh, look at that!
Minivids.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Honestly, I thought I was gonna be late. I thought I was gonna be late because getting this coffee, they made like a special latte with sprinkles and like. No, it's
all
really
the things
nice.
you don't need in a coffee. You're drinking hot chocolate.
I definitely do not need it. Yeah. Hot chocolate with some bean juice.
Which bean?
Coffee bean.
Oh, okay. I thought you put some other bean milk in it now. That's what we're at. We're up to bean milk, oat milk.
Oat milk is the shit.
Macadamia milk.
Wait.
Macadamia milk. Have you ever seen It Can Happen to You?
No.
With Bridget Fonda and Nicolas Cage, and they play. She's a waitress. He's just some guy, and he buys a lottery ticket. But he's the nicest guy on earth, and he gives her half.
No.
Doesn't matter. The whole point of the thing is after she wins the lottery, which is the plot point of the movie. I'm not spoiling anything. Stanley Tucci's in her apartment. That's her ex, and he's eating her macadamias. And I had never eaten a macadamia at this point when the movie came out. And I just remember this scene where he's like eating these macadamias, and then she's like, "You're at my house. You're eating my fucking macadamias. Get the fuck out of here!" And then she kicks him out. It was actually a hotel room. She kicks him out, and then as she's closing the door, he grabs the macadamias, and she closes the door, and then she feels so like taken advantage of. Because he left with the macadamias. But yeah, get macadamia milk. Yeah.
Is that an East Coast thing?
No, I had it here. I had it here literally like I had it 12 hours ago. That's why it's so top of mind.
Wait, what the fuck? All right, it's a new one.
Macadamia milk.
The cashew milk was the new
one. So I was finally on my big thing with Vegas the first time I was here was just such a bummer town because I was staying on the Strip. I don't like hotels in general. When I tour, I don't go to hotels. I stay with friends. I do whatever I can to do. I'll fucking get on Tinder and find a house. I don't care. Like just so I don't have to stay at a hotel. And it's not a money thing. It's like a comfort thing. And it's like if you stay at somebody's house, they go, "Oh, this is the stuff that happens around here."
Yeah.
And you stay at a hotel, they go, "We have a lovely restaurant."
Yeah.
Like, "No,
you
fuck
can
you.
stay
What should
here.
I do?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Well, no, there's breakfast here." Like,
you don't
where
need to
can
leave
I eat?
ever.
Right. And so I got to stay. I stayed in Henderson for a week, and then now I'm over on the other side of town, which is like the apparently cooler town, Summerlin.
Nice.
So if you stay in Summerlin, they have macadamia milk. That's all I know.
I'll put that in my notes. Macadamia milk, Summerlin, Nevada.
Do you write things like
in my notes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you write things like physically, or is this your phone?
My phone. I have a journal that I started writing in just because.
What goes in the journal?
Usually when I'm feeling like really overwhelmed emotionally, I'll write down whatever's happening and I'll feel better after.
Is there when did you start this, and is there a format to it?
I started it I think when I started going to therapy a couple months ago. It was just something that was suggested, and No, I just
What
I
did he
literally
say or she say? What is it? Free writing?
I just free write my feelings.
Yeah.
Like there's this one therapist I follow on Instagram. She's called the Holistic Psychologist.
Okay.
She's like truly blowing up because she just gives you like information on like how you can help yourself and like things you can do. And so she has an actual journal format. It's called future self journaling, where you write to your future self.
Okay.
And it actually has a format and things like that. So there's a bunch of different types of journaling. I personally just write what has happened and how I'm feeling.
Yeah, not everybody needs the exact structure of that.
Yeah, like going to therapy a lot of times is just like talking with someone who understands like what to say, basically. And if you don't have that opportunity, like right here when I'm here and I'm super overwhelmed, I just go and I write it down and I feel a lot better afterwards.
That's what I was doing when I traveled to South Africa, and there was a lot going on with my family, and there was some stuff that was like some pending death that was sort of like inevitable and sort of thing, and I just started writing again. And then I had a weird relationship that didn't end in a very honest way, and and then I couldn't rely on that person to even give me the closure of like telling me the truth. And so same thing, I just wrote, and it's like sometimes I don't know what the structure is going to be. Sometimes you're writing to them. Sometimes you're writing to yourself. I accidentally wrote my grandfather's obituary one day. Yeah. I had a feeling, I hadn't heard from my family. We're on a weird time zone difference. I had a feeling that he was gone, and I just wrote this thing about him. And it ended up being, and then they asked me to do the obituary, and I was going to write something, and then I sort of looked at what I wrote, and I was like, I think this is it.
Sometimes it comes from the heart. It's better, and that's truly what it is. It's just like putting your emotions and thoughts to paper, and it is proven that helps you more than actually like typing out a journal.
It's actually how I figured out who I was. Yeah. When I was 19, I was in England for 6 months with school, and I didn't have a lot of people. I didn't go like everybody else. Like went with like a whole group of their friends, and I just went. I like decided late, and I just went. I didn't see who was coming and whatever, and I was doing my own thing, and I was just writing every day, and I really like figured out my own self and my independence and shit. It was like a weird.
That's awesome. I mean, it's like talking with yourself. Yeah. In a way.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then it's like. It's just you in the paper, so now you're not lying.
You can't lie to anyone, totally.
There's no reason to lie.
And I think growing up, a lot of the reason I always wanted to have a journal, but I always knew that there's no way that would ever be kept private.
Right.
And so I never felt, I never felt
my sister had this like weird like my diary thing, and it was always like the big thing in the house was always like who took it, where is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's trying to break my password?
It's such a violation of privacy now. Like looking back and what I've learned about journals is like, it's your own thoughts, and it's just a huge violation of consent if anyone tries to take that and read it.
I had somebody who was probably the most toxic person I met in my 20s, and like kind of changed me for like 15 years. Like, tore pages out of it, like read it. It's like it had nothing to do with you. Like, how are you jealous of my past? Like, tore pages out of it. It was me like dealing even at like 19. I'm writing at a time when I had sex with one person, maybe two, and I was writing about whether or not like I even believed in monogamy, and it was a weird thing because I wasn't like drowning in pussy. I wasn't seeing more than one.
Yeah, you're just contemplating the social construct of that shit. Yeah,
and I think those are the pages that she tore, and then just stored in her head, and then kind of like polluted the relationship. Yeah,
like he wants to cheat on me.
Right,
I'm not good enough.
Yeah, but she already had her own shit, right? Yeah, that I found out much more about after. But like, it's like so I learned so much from that relationship, but then it also like it like stunted me. Yeah. For like trusting moving forward.
You don't want something like that to happen again, for sure. But it's important to like, I guess, put yourself out there. Whatever. You seem good now.
Yeah. I'm in a really good place. I'm in a good place comedically. I'm in a good place with understanding. Kind of meeting like people in this industry, what like the possibilities are. Totally. Even before I had started this podcast, I had an open relationship with somebody. There was a period of time where I thought that I had to lie about some of my desires, and I'm far beyond that. Like, so yeah, I'm in a good spot.
That's good.
I'm glad it looks like I'm in a good spot.
Yeah, truly. Like, I don't know. You can kind of tell when you see people. Yeah. Like, unless someone's like a sociopath and they're always faking it. But
yeah, I just never understood how it's hard.
Yeah,
it's too hard. I never understood how people do that. It's very hard to be fake all the time.
They grew up in an environment where they had to be that way to protect themselves from dangerous people in their lives. So it just become how they live their life. They don't even know they're doing it. Yeah. I'm reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius right now.
Okay.
And there's this one part that says like, sometimes bad people don't even know that they're doing bad, and that's why they do bad.
Sure.
Like they don't know they're good from bad. And I see that in a lot of people's actions is they've never taken the time to contemplate what they're doing and whether or not it's wrong.
This is a less sinister version of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes you realize that the way someone was raised makes it so that they'll never understand your viewpoint. Because it was like I was seeing somebody and then something that they didn't agree with was happening that I didn't find any fault in. But it's like I'm gonna hear out your side. But then it was like they had gone to everybody that raised them to get advice, and all of the people that raised them had the same opinion as them. Obviously, because you were
you
were raised
with
wrong.
Those people. Yeah, exactly.
So of course you have the wrong opinion.
Totally. And if you don't question the environment that you were brought up in, a lot of people aren't brought up in an environment where they have the ability to think for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, those are truly individuals. Like I knew I was a lot of group think. Like this is just like the house thoughts. You know, this is what we believe. And I think it takes a lot of like introspection and like self-discovery to try and be like different in any way from what your family was.
Yeah, it still hurts me having this podcast and having people say like the wrong name for it. They'll add the word "to" at the end, which I think puts stank on it. Just from an English perspective, like porn stars are people too. So like that says that we've started at they're not, and now we're adding that they are, which is the opposite of what I'm trying to like convey.
In addition to
right, and it's like, and then it's a lot of like doing this podcast is just people coming up to me, guys and girls, like saying things like, "Oh, are you banging your guests?" Like that's the first thing they assume. It's like, are you even reading, like the byline of what the podcast is? It's like destigmatizing sex
like
industry.
It's not porn stars are meat.
Porn stars are my pussies.
Porn stars are sex objects.
Yeah.
It's
porn
the
stars
opposite.
are objects.
No, it's the first thought that they
That's
go
my
to.
Other podcast.
Is like,
called Porn Stars Are Objects.
Well, I think there's like, just like
we just
there's
put
certain
lampshades on porn stars.
We just. That's how you do all the interviews from now on. We don't even have faces.
They just go on all fours, and I just put coffee on their back. Porn
Holy
stars
shit!
Are tables.
We're just tables. Literally objectify us, dude.
Is that a genre of porn?
You should have an April Fool's Day.
Just porn
like
stars
a
are
podcast,
tables,
and it's just like you're just interviewing us, but we're literally objects. Shh. Porn stars are objects.
It's actually my favorite.
Treat us like that.
Porn stars are pillows.
How is it being a female? Like, what's it like being a female?
Here's the problem when you do something like that on that extreme. That's going to take off, and then that's going to be the thing they want to see. This is what happened to Pee Wee Herman. This is literally what happened to Pee Wee Herman's career. His show was for adults, pretend like it's for kids, but it's for adults, and it's graphic. It was on HBO. And then somebody was like, what if you actually made it for kids? And Paul Rubens was the type of guy who would have jerked off in a movie theater.
Yeah.
And then they put a guy who jerks off in movie theaters on TV as a kid's show because they were like, this is going to make way more money. And he's like, okay, no problem. Yeah, let's do that.
But do the porn stars are objects.
Now you got a guy who came up with the idea that a kid's show should be a sexy show with tits and like anal jokes and things like that.
Was it really?
Yeah.
You go back and watch
it? No, they it was like I think it was just like a live show. And then or it was like on one of these like these are subscription networks. And then I think what's his name?
I go read this Wikipedia page.
The guy Judd Apatow produced last year or 2 years ago on HBO or Showtime the adult version of what the show was always supposed to be. Yeah, they did Pee Wee's Playhouse, and he was like being like an old pervert. Yeah.
I need to go watch this.
Yes. This is public information. Yeah. So that's the problem is I would do that, and then it would take off, and then that would be an actually successful.
We'd have like
podcast.
7 times as many views as your.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what the fuck?
Because that's where people come to this, and they're like 5 minutes in, they're like, why are they talking? What is this? Why are we doing this?
Like, there's fans and there's patrons at these conventions. Someone said that. There's fans that come and they meet you and they fucking love you and they like melt my heart. And that's the only reason I come to these things and deal with the patrons who come and they're like, damn, is that picture of you right there? Like, how long ago did you take that? I'm so glad you still stayed in shape, girl.
Yeah, what does that even mean? What are you supposed to do with that?
I say go away, sir.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do with that? This is literally how every girl flirts with me online, by the way. The things you're talking about,
neg you?
That's what every first message on Tinder is on my page.
Why?
I don't know. I think looking at this face, you go, we gotta fucking bring this.
We
guy
gotta bring him down.
This guy's clearly
He's
got too much confidence.
Too hot.
we gotta
knock him down.
We gotta tell him he sucks quick.
Yo, chill the fuck out. You're not getting this pussy.
Quick. I swiped right on you, yes, but I want to hang out with your dog. I don't want to sit on your face.
I swiped right, but you know that picture where you have 3 friends?
Yeah.
Do you have?
No, that's
the girl on the right?
That is a thing that happens a lot, actually. Like I had a buddy of mine had me in one of his photos, and he's a short dude. He's fine. We're not the same. We would not attract the same type of women. And I was like, dude, you gotta take me off of your thing.
I could never ask someone that
because. Well, I can. Well, it's dudes.
Or they'll think it's you.
It's dudes. No, it's like it's just like it's not that like they're gonna swipe and think it's me. It's more that like now you have a buffet,
and you have to choice.
And so whoever I pick, if it's not you, I'm not gonna be happy with any of the rest of your photos. So you just get all the you and other people out of there because it's like if I look
make them all ugly.
If I look at the
make
3,
yourself
make
yourself the crab legs on the buffet.
That is a female move. Yeah.
Make yourself the crab legs on the buffet.
That is the female move.
I made all.
What about people with shellfish allergies? There's always gonna be
the prime rib. The boneless prime rib.
And then there's vegetarians. I told you. But the point is, don't give choices. It's like if it's a choice.
Take the choice.
And they're gonna make you choose.
Take the person's choice away.
And then you. This is fun. Gingerbanks spinning my all of my words into toxic
rape
masculinity. Okay, what's the opposite?
It's pretty magical talent.
What's the opposite of toxic masculinity?
The opposite of toxic masculinity is just like being yourself as a man in a world and not like
no, that's the balance of it. What is like I'm trying to figure out what the opposite is. I think there's something wrong with the fact that there's no female version of toxic masculinity. We're not even allowing.
I think the version of toxic masculinity that exists is the mainstream's perception of feminism, which is not what actual feminism is, which is certain people taking feminism and co-opting it and trying to control and oppress men, which is the definition of feminism. Oh yeah, 100,000%.
Do you think there are women
man haters?
Yeah.
Basically.
Do you think there are women that go, every man should die?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
We don't need them anymore. Like my ex-stepmother was someone who went down that path, but she was also someone who was extremely hurt and abused by men her entire life.
Right.
There's always an explanation for someone's behavior, no matter what it is. So yes, I do think there is an opposite side. What do I think the opposite of toxic masculinity is like, is it being like an actual like, no, it's just being yourself. And I don't have an actual definition for that because that could be anything from like painting your nails to like just not feeling the need to watch football or like anything in between, not thinking of women as a separate species of females and things like that. Like I truly go back to just like being yourself because a lot of toxic masculinity is being told that you need to do something or you can't do something. You can't shave your legs. You can't
don't cry.
Don't cry. That shit is the worst and it's so bad. And I guarantee you that is why men commit suicide more than women. I guarantee because.
And dick shaming.
And dick, I mean, dude, it contributes to your mental health. I don't care what it is, especially if like your self-worth is tied up in your dick size.
Well, and then capitalism has become a component of dating for years, and so it makes it hard. It makes it hard for me in New York to try to. It's like I'm competing against guys who can literally like take girls on like helicopter rides. It's like I don't want that to be my date.
But you also shouldn't be looking for someone who wants to date someone.
Yeah, but okay, but that's true.
Like.
That's true. But then also, let's say that you're just in an environment. So now you're a girl who's in an environment, and most of the dates are going bad because guys are terrible. Yeah. And so one of the guys will take you on a helicopter ride. So you go, I'll go on that one every once in a while. And there's that.
I'm very judgmental about rich people, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way.
I'm like, really? You probably seem more entitled. Like, you're very
rich.
I'm the
same
way.
way.
What you want most of your life, and then you end up being more entitled because
I don't understand people who solve problems with money. That's a thing for me. Like, I solve problems with relationships. And friendships and like people and using people as resources, not money as resources. If you were a billionaire, maybe. Right, but that's what I mean. It's like
Outlook is easier. It's probably easier.
You just you can. Well, once you get to that point, you just solve problems with money. You go, you're literally like I don't even want to move. I'll give you $20. You go give me that trash can. Like it's like that's. I mean, and that's
and
where
then
we're
you
at.
don't do anything for yourself at that point.
Well, then you don't
are
have
you even
to.
living?
But that is the thing. I do meet millionaires that might not have any skills, and it upsets me.
It's so true, though.
It upsets me.
They've never cooked a meal
It's
in
like
their
you try,
entire
and you
life.
try, but you also try to talk to them about the thing they're supposed to be the expert of, and sometimes they don't know the thing. They've just surrounded themselves around the right people.
Yeah, they've surrounded themselves with yes men, or they're like nepotism,
and
like so they've just like gotten themselves this job they don't deserve. Yeah.
2020 election. So
Bernie Sanders.
so the you thinking about Bernie?
I love Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Is Bernie a millionaire?
Probably.
Interesting. I don't know. I have removed money as being valuable to my life so much that I'm kind of like you on the level of not despise for it, but it's made me a much better, more resourceful person. But then also then it's like then every Thursday I'm like, oh, I wish I had a lot of money.
Yeah, totally. I mean, obviously having more money would be nice, all those things, but it shouldn't when it's the most important thing in a person's life, they're not the most interesting person. And then their incentive is always to make more money, and I feel used by those people in my life, They're always trying to make money no matter what. It's
that is interesting.
I'm so paranoid about
those
being
people.
used.
Yeah, those people. That's actually exactly it. All of those people that I have in my life that have access to too much money sort of use me as sort of either like some kind of like court jester, or like a sexual object, or like and it's like I've never felt that valued and it's so I think you're not wrong.
They think of whenever you start thinking of people as objects in any way, it gets bad. And I think that's why this industry gets dangerous sometimes, is because of the capitalism that gets involved, and you forget about people's sexuality and their humanity and all the things involved, and I think that's where things get dangerous. You just start throwing people together that don't want to fuck and doing things that they don't want to do because it's going to make money, or it's going to get hits and things like that. I think that's where it's not as good for our mental health to be put in situations like that.
Because we do flex on our values a little bit if there's a gain. But even in a gain, it's like totally. Okay, well, I don't really like doing these fucking Instagram videos, but these are my fucking are the ones. These ones are flying. So now I'm gonna do these fucking.
No, I find myself thinking about associating with people that aren't necessarily the most stand-up people, because I know I will gain followers or something like that from it. And I have to ask myself, would you ever associate with this person if they didn't have 5 million followers on Instagram? And if the answer is no, you have to just stick with your values, and you have to be strong with that shit.
I think I've started to realize I'm starting to try to verbalize it more that I think some of my roadblocks are in comedy are that I don't give off a sort of sidekick vibe, because if I sidekicked somebody who's higher up on the totem pole, I could probably chase them up the path, but I don't give off sidekick vibes, and I don't give off I don't want to open for somebody and then sell their T-shirts or whatever it is.
Totally.
That's so that's just and so for that I think I also don't give up the energy of a guy that goes, oh, we should bring him along, he's gonna want to just do all this other stuff. So I think that's
not a yes man.
That's railroading me in a way.
Yeah. You're an individual. A lot of bigger names or people like that, they definitely want people around them who don't they're not outspoken or themselves.
Well, and then also I don't pick up little symbiotic fleas and stuff to do stuff for me either, because I don't like that energy. So it's I don't have a team.
Your entourage.
And I'm not anybody's
You are your
team.
entourage.
I'm just a guy doing stuff.
Totally.
And then I don't know.
Same.
It's limiting.
Same. I mean, I don't have an agent or anything like that.
Yeah.
I definitely, but you're just giving up control in a way. You're giving up as many choices as you have when you start to work with other people. So until it's someone that I'm genuinely just on the same page for on so many different levels. Even my business relationships, I try to treat them like personal relationships or friendships. Do they have all those same qualities that I want in a romantic relationship?
Sure.
Obviously, I don't need sexual chemistry with them, but all the other things, do they care about diversity? Do they care about sex work?
I like this. I do like this job interview. So here's what's funny is that sometimes we go all the way in a direction of being woke that it comes back to being gross. So we're sitting in an interview and we're like, would I fuck you? And it's all the wrong things, but it's for all the right reasons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Going back to
right, this
trying
guy
to keep it appropriate.
Yeah, this guy Drew Michael has this great joke about a guy accidentally fast forwarding to extreme radical fundamental what's the thing, this senator in some state allows for gay marriage because of all homophobic reasons.
Oh, really?
I don't know all the people.
Are you serious? And he comes back to actually being woke?
Yeah. Oh, actually,
somehow?
No. He wants to abolish the entire concept of marriage. It's like
because of
but it starts.
gay marriage.
It starts with gay people shouldn't get married. So then he wants to abolish all of marriage.
And then it comes around,
and then it's actually it's the most woke thing that's happened, but it's for all of the wrong reasons.
You're like, damn, this outcome could be great, but if only a homophobe
if
didn't
it only
start this
started
fucking movement
in the right place. Yes, I think there's a lot of this.
Maybe technically it did start with Jesus.
Yeah.
All the way through that homophobe and then out to let's not get married.
What do you think? Why do you think we're stuck in this world where we think that two people can repopulate the earth?
Who? What do you mean we? I mean,
I think people really think. I think people think this
all the Abrahamic religions are extremely outdated, and I think that we need spirituality without claims of divinity or claims of miracles or claims of shit like that. Like,
let me try to grab the joke first.
Okay.
So me and you,
we're getting deep.
Me and you are the last two people on Earth.
Okay.
There's like this idea, like where I come up to you at a bar and I wouldn't fuck you if you're the last person on Earth because the population requires it, or we believe that Adam and Eve populated the Earth, but we have a kid, me and you, because we're the last two people on Earth.
And then
now what do we do?
Okay, I literally brought this up in church multiple times. No, we have multiple children, and then what do? They
They have to fuck each other. Either way,
I know
family reunions are weird. This is why you became.
This is why my pastors hated me.
This is so funny.
I was literally like,
hang on a
explain it to me. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
And but I don't know. Is the Bible pro incest?
It has to be at least a little bit. It's
which verse is that?
At the very least it's pro rape.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and pro child murder. Like,
how else are you gonna have sex with somebody who doesn't want to have sex with you?
What did Noah do after the flood?
Who did he rape?
It was only Noah and Noah's family on the ark, and everyone else died.
He fucked goats.
Incest
here's
again,
here's
man.
what I don't understand, and this is this week, and there's something wrong with my brain. But why are farmers banging male goats?
The buttholes are tighter than the vaginas.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? I feel like goat pussy's probably pretty good.
But I'm sure goat butthole's tighter. Jesus Christ.
Might be true.
The thought that I would ever utter that sentence has never crossed my mind.
Yeah. Well, no, because what the trick is. You butt him up to like a ledge because he's got to keep backing up. That's the idea.
Oh!
So he's twerking it in. Yeah. On that note, how do we pay for your porn? How do we find you online?
You can pay for my porn at onlyfans.com/gingerbanks1. It's $5 a month. So if you can buy coffee, you can buy my porn.
That's a good price. Oh, you're doing the pitch that they do at like the timeshares. You're like, listen, how much you spend every week on coffee?
Yeah,
that's my porn.
$5 a month. That's 1 cup of coffee a month. All right.
You use high pressure sales tactics. You're like, listen,
John, are you a
people,
scumbag?
You see people's names.
Unless you're a scumbag, you better go buy my porn.
How do we follow you on the things?
You can follow me everywhere. Twitter, gingerbanks1, Instagram, the gingerbanks.
Great. This is the Porn Stars or People podcast. We drop a new episode every Monday. We're on Google Play. We're on iTunes, whatever thing you're on. If you switch platforms, we're also on that thing. We have some YouTube content from today at AVN. We got a Patreon. We're trying to figure out what you guys want to see. We're sponsored by Spunk Lube and rebroadcast by the Demon Seed Radio Network. I got some fun ideas for what we're going to do for our BTS Safer Work content, so check out that as well on Instagram.
Ooh, I can't wait to see what we do.
Thank you guys for listening and watching.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.